So the picture that you see on the screen is a man known as Heraldo there. He is from Kingston. Keep up here, Fuckry in a Kingston. Hot at the place, runway. Went to St. Mary. When he went to St. Mary, like them say, a leopard never changes its spots. Him keep up the same buckery, hot at the place. He was so hot when he was in Kingston. The people from Kingston came to St. Mary, pick him up and carry him back to Kingston. He was a person of interest for many cases, including shooting and possible the takeaway of innocent lives. However, we know that there is a system lapse in Jamaica, and it seems as if these judges, them like to throw some sorts of sympathy party. So for some sorts of reason, he was released again and went back to St. Mary once more again. However, this time it did not work out too good for Mr. Deere. Based on information, it is said that in the wee hours of the night, specifically about 10 something, he was at some sorts of bar on the Lighthouse main road, just chilling, sipping on some scissor, when a couple of men rolled up, blaze up some corn on him. They pretty much run him down, and you know exactly what. After the smoke clear, the resident them hear the explosion, them call the po-po. When the po-po came on the scene, they found him lying face down. Based on the po-po report, it is said that when he was attacked, him tried to run, take for himself. However, it seems as if the assailants were faster than him, and specifically the tool. After the po-po make a check, he was hit up maybe about 30 times, could be a little less, could be a little bit more. They found 18 spent shells and about 6 to 12 other spent shell, including 2 rounds. So what that tells you is that the persons that came for him, they had the time to select. It seems like the tools might have stick, so therefore them select that out, fling it away and put in some new one and then put it in him. Now people, it seems as if these young youths don't realize that the safest place for them when they are involved in the badness, I cannot guarantee their safety. However, the big yard seems to be the right place, but it seems as if they don't like the big yard because it is not as entertaining, it is not as hype, there is no much excitement, there is no sorts of girl, there is no sorts of way to make any sorts of illicit type of money, which is what they like. And most importantly, it seems as if some of them are not impressed by these series of videos that we see circulating all over social media with inmates with money, with cash, in a polo gear, in a Clark's, Rete, Lele. So therefore, them are each come back out the street, and because the system lapse with these judges that are always throwing some sorts of sympathy party. But people, maybe these judges are smarter than we think. Maybe these judges are giving them a DEATH sentence when they actually let them out. So therefore, them let them out for the opposition to take them out. And in this case, we see that that is exactly what transpired. So based on the police record and the accounts of residents in the area that heard or saw what transpired, they ran him down. Him running a somebody's yard. However, it seems as if the amount of corn that he got was definitely bad for his health, bad for his balance. They caught him like some sorts of deer in some sorts of headlights. Shook, he was frozen, really, literally, in both cases, and mean DEAD. The popo then called the coroner. Did not need to call any sorts of emergency vehicle because he was pretty much DEAD on the spot. They took him to the hospital for him to be officially pronounced by a medical practitioner, doctor that is. Now when we hear stuff like this, the question that a lot of persons are going to have, so hold on a minute. This youth hot in a Kingston. Run from Kingston, come a St. Mary. Hot up St. Mary. Them leave all the way from Kingston to come for him with some sorts of warrant because he was a person of interest or suspect. He then went back to St. Mary and then get GUN down in such a fashion. It is quite obvious what happened. A lot of times these people are friends turn rival or friend enemies. So therefore they know about each other's whereabouts. Them know them family because they used to go to each other's house and share a meal. However, like them say, these people cannot get along. There is no sort of honor amongst thieves. So therefore, more than likely, something is going to go wrong. Some sort of towncraft is going to be pulled and people are going to pull toll upon each other. And such is the case. So as we speak right now, the Popo don't have any sorts of motive. They are investigating the DEATH of Heraldo there, just like Heraldo Rivera. It will come to you. This is not blogging 101 for dummies. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, the criminal elements have come to the realization that the best soft targets in Jamaica right now is beryllium. Well, actually, beryllium kind of hot right now. It is on some sorts of cooling down period. So therefore, they want to catch them off guard. Right now, the time is not right. But it seems as if, as it pertains to the wholesale and the supermarkets, the timing is always right. Such is the case on Sunday about midday. It seems as if people stop going to church. Church is no longer happening. The hype kind of fizzle out on the church thing. So they decide that they are going to do the robbery thing instead. It is said that a group of men entered a supermarket, wholesale them call it, posing like customers. Then them wheel and pop off, caught them slipping, stick up everybody, took an undetermined amount of cash and decide, say, we're going to take two of them people, is either pick a pow or ping and pang. Don't know exactly who they chose. However, they took them as hostage, left and dropped them off in our next era in a Clarendon. Now, people, first thing first. Sunday, midday, on the Lord's Day, no respect for life, no respect for the Lord. That is quite obvious. They've realized that, listen, when we go for these people, more than likely, they are not going to have any sorts of tool. More than likely, them are just put them hands in the ear like them just don't care. Wave it as if them they in some sorts of party. Surrender, quick and easy. So therefore, that would make them a soft target. They have come to the conclusion that this is a part of the principle of the badness business in a Jamaica. You win some and you lose some, brush off your collar and start all over again. They have told themselves that, listen, we are not going to have any sorts of toll because if our employees hear that we have toll, more than likely, them are going to tell them friend are going to come for we. Not only are they going to rob us because we have some sorts of toll, then them are going to take our life. So therefore, they make it very easy that, listen, we are not going to put up any sorts of resistance as if we name berries. So what was clearly evident in this robbery is that these men were organized. They came and they planned and they robbed and they left without incidents. Other than shaking up a couple of people, traumatizing the customers in the place and the workers. Like I've always said, one fool makes many. Fast forward less than a day or so, at a wholesale again on Campbell's Boulevard in the Walton Park area. Two men decided that they were going to try the same ish. However, people, it was a polar different results. These men, it seems as if they were fully dunce. They were not as organized. They did not have the type of tools that they needed. And even worse, like them say, man a plan, God a wipe out. They did not anticipate that while they were there, pulling off this so-called robbery, there was going to be some sorts of licensed firearm holder who happens to be some sorts of SWAT straight shooter. And then he would confront them and blaze them up. A Rasta man that was in a some sorts of liquor shots, he got conned up several times in the upper body, in the upper torso. His friend up and seen that and see how this licensed firepiece holder pick off him friend decided that he want no part of this, so therefore him cut out like a lax. His friend Dreddy died in a dreadful way trying to rob. Moral of the story is this: puss and dog don't have the same luck. So even though Mr. Pick-a-Pow and Mr. Ping Pong is an easy target, there's always going to be something that comes into the equation, and pretty much like a monkey wrench, that would be a licensed firearm holder or the po-po pulling up on the spot and screwing up the whole strategy. So after the smoke cleared, Dreddy was seen laying on his back, each up on the side wall of said wholesale, shaking his hand, last twitch reflexes, gasping onto his last breath. So like I've always said, every day the bucket goes to the well, one day the bottom I go drop out. Most importantly, man a plan, gotta wipe out. Point blank and period. So the pictures that you see on your screen is what we call Jamaican rum fruit cake, black cake. Very popular in the Christmas, however, it can be used or eaten on a daily basis. It could be for occasions such as birthday or wedding. It is moist, it is delicious, it is the best that is out there. The person that is selling this, she is called Aunt Glenna's Rum and Premium Rum and Fruit Cake. You could contact her 1-876-456-0773. Phone number again, 1-876-456-0773. Call on WhatsApp, leave a message or call regular. Tell her that True Jamaica Boss sends you and she will take good care of you. Whenever you buy or purchase either £3, £4 or £5, part of that profit goes to charity in a Jamaica and also United States. Give her a call, let her know that I sent you. Point blank and period. So the next part of the video is called whenever you are mixed up in the violence, mix up the badness, the legitimate business with the illegitimate business, whenever you have any sorts of gangster friend, like your mother always tell you, watch your friends that you keep, the friends that you choose or the choices that you make will determine what exactly happens to you. On or about Saturday at 9 p.m., a young man known as Paul Somoda, government name, in the street as Tito. Tito was a supervisor at the warehouse at Wharf, so therefore he had a 9 to 5. Well, he had is the operative word. On or about 9 p.m., like I said, in a place called Bayshore Park, he was conned up, his body was riddled in him and in the upper body, and most significantly, it seems as if them take off him crown above his eye like some sorts of bottle stopper. It was pretty bad. It is probably one of the worstest that I've seen. Now, based on the pictures that I got in which I put in my WhatsApp group, I was saying to myself, this man must be involved, he must mix up. This man was some sorts of message takeaway. Somebody was trying to send some sorts of serious message to somebody. And people, based on information that I am getting from law enforcement, it said that this man lost his life. The motive was because of some sorts of internal feud for people that want to run the place, Bayshore Park to be specific. This man was like a gopher. This man was like a transporter. This man was like a send-out man. This man was like a yes man. And people, you know how it goes, what they say, the policy in the badness. If you roll with the enemy, you are going to DIE with the enemy. If them can't catch Squawk out, them are going to catch him shot. So it seems as if the people were looking for their rivals, and because they could not find the rivals, because most of the rivals or both rival is either out of port, meaning overseas, or in the big yards. So therefore them say, then the little man, the Tito always a spar with him. If we hold on Pantido, put it on Pantido, it is going to send a strong message that, listen, we don't play. We not depend any sorts of lele. Let's get the AR rolling. Such is the case in this case. But people, like I've always said, what a difference a day makes. When it comes to these gangsters, reprisal is always the order of the day. Fast forward, less than a day or so, a next young man was found. Next patient, same treatment, same type of thing. His body was riddled, especially and specifically in crown. There was some sorts of big hole in his head where it is not supposed to be, and everything inside was leaking out, just like Tito. So people, in my assumption, I would say that this is some sort of reprisal. It could be coincidental, but I doubt it very much. Like me say, these people are always tit for tat, an eye for an eye. You take one of ours, we take one of yours, vice versa. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called the curse of the Toyota Mark X. Maypen, Anno Playpen, Manchester, nah, Jester. Better yet, once the criminal elements, the choppers, enter the neighborhood, there goes the mother humping neighborhood. I am speaking about an incident that occurred in a place called Manchester, Mandeville area, where a young man, Rushane Young, was taken out and one of his passengers of 3 was conned up. Based on the information, it is said that about 9:50 or so, they came to the intersection of West Road and Knoll Circle at Knoll Circle, when a group of men in another vehicle rolled up and sprayed that vehicle. It is said that Mr. Young and the female passenger that was in the vehicle, they were hits. Mr. Young worse than the girl. She did not make it. The other 2 passengers in the back seat, them take care for themselves. Now people, you know that Jamaica is very homophobic. So therefore, if 4 people in a vehicle, one lady, the lady I go in the front. Just like any sorts of minibus or coaster. That is how Jamaican rolls. Don't know if this young lady was the girlfriend of Mr. Young. Don't know the specifics. However, one thing that I do know, you saw that the 2 other persons in the back seat take for themselves, take bushes for it. This is what happens whenever you are criminal elements, because you know exactly what you do, you know that you have enemies, you know what to expect. So therefore, you're always in that starter's position. That means you just want to hear the tool go off and you're going to literally have a bullet start on the situation, take for yourself. The young lady was not fortunate. Well, she was kind of fortunate. She did not lose her life. However, it seems as if Rushane was indeed the target, and they made sure that they sprayed the front of that vehicle. So whoever was in the line of FIRE, literally, also pick up some con. The 2 young men in the back, they were more fortunate because people like me say, them roll upon them right in front of them, spray from left to right or right to left, don't know the specifics. So people, like I said, the theme, Manchester, Maypen, Clarendon, a series of takeaway, a series of robbery, and this was one of them. As a matter of fact, when the grandmother of Mr. Young was asked, she said, I had just spoken to him about 6 p.m. He came for dinner, he got dinner. And then people, it seems as if they found him with the Desert Eagle or like sorts of tool and took him out. Very tragic, but people like them say, if you live by the GUN, you also DIE by the GUN. And it is obvious that a part of the gangster or chopper lifestyle starter kit is that Mark X. And don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued. I am not saying that everybody that drive any sorts of Mark X are criminal, but me just say a whole lot of them do. Not trying to stereotype anybody, but me just talk about the facts. And this case is a perfect example. So based on the recent trends, this once tranquil place, Manchester, well, Clarendon was always kind of hot. Mandeville, we see the chopper and the criminals are moving on up. And the residents that are mostly retirees are deciding that they are moving on out before things get from bad to worser, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.